There are some big changes coming to one of your favorite compact crossover SUVs for the 2023 model year. Honda has redesigned the CR-V. It's longer, it's wider, it's more spacious inside, but most interestingly, it has a new hybrid powertrain as well that Honda says could account for as much as half of all 23 CR-Vs sold. Now, how are they going to get so many hybrids into your hands? Well, they've changed up the trim levels a little bit. So come along with us. We're going to take you through everything you need to know about the new 2023 Honda CR-V. The first thing to know about the new 23 CR-V is that Honda has changed around the trim levels. Gone is the base model LX. It no longer exists. It's been replaced in the lineup probably by the new larger and more expensive HR-V, which slots below the CR-V. Instead, you've got the EX, the EXL, the Sport, and the Sport Touring. And there's a number of different changes in between the Sport lineup and the EX lineup, but you can identify them visually through a couple of ways. First, the EX has the black grille with the chrome surround, whereas the Sport has the black grille with a gloss black surround. There's also some changes to the front lower bumper. Obviously, the Sport is a little bit more aggressive than the EX. The changes to the structure are actually pretty significant. The vehicle is more than 2 inches longer, it's about a ½ inch wider, and it has more than 1.5 inches longer wheelbase than it did before. That should translate into some more room inside. But the most interesting styling change really is the windshield. It's 4 inches rearward than where it was before. It's also lower and wider than it was before as well. Now, Honda says that this is definitely going to improve outward visibility. Honda's used to really be known for having that super low dash that really enabled you to see out of them very easily. But it also has the secondary effect of creating a much longer hood and a more rugged, boxy looking profile. Rear styling is also all new. You've got somewhat familiar looking rear tail lights. They're all LED across the board, but the easier way to tell between an EX and a Sport trim is in the lower bumper. On the EX models, it's pretty plain, but on the Sport models, you get these rectangular exhaust finishers. Now, that's kind of misleading because only one of those finishers actually has a tailpipe in it. In terms of wheels, that's tied to your trim level. The EX and EXL both get 10-spoke 18-inch wheels, alloys as standard. The Sport gets 18-inch gloss black wheels, and the Sport Touring top-of-the-line model gets 5-spoke 19-inch wheels. But the wheels aren't really the big difference between the EX and the Sport models. That big difference is under the hood. For the base vehicle, the EX and the EXL, you get a turbocharged 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine making 190 horsepower and 179 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to a continuously variable transmission and is available with either front or all-wheel drive. But if you step up to a Sport trim, you get the new hybrid system. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine mated to a new twin-motor hybrid electric powertrain. It's good for 204 horsepower and 247 pounds-feet of torque. Now, that also enables a couple of new things. It enables the hybrid to now tow 1,000 pounds, and it now enables the vehicle to operate in hybrid continuous mode at speeds that have gone up from 86 miles per hour to now 115 miles per hour, which really only is relevant if you've stolen your Honda CR-V hybrid, because you shouldn't be driving that fast anywhere in the United States anyway. If you're familiar with the changes that Honda made for the latest generation Civic interior, you're pretty much going to be familiar with what they've done with the CR-V as well. Front and center is this new metal mesh panel that spans the width of the dashboard. It hides the air vents, and it has this really cool retro futuristic look to it. It works really well in the Civic. It works really well here too. You have some upholstery options with the new CR-V, but they are tied to your trim level. The EX gets cloth, EXL gets leather, the Sport gets cloth, and the Sport Touring gets leather. And you can get it in either gray or black, except for the Sport trim, which only comes with black cloth. Now, the Sport models also get this really nifty orange stitching in the seats, console, shifter, doors, and steering wheel. There's a new multimedia system as well, and again, it is also tied to your trim level. The Sport and the EX both get a 7-inch unit, but it now has a volume and tuning knob. Hurrah! The EXL and the Sport Touring get the larger 9-inch system. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard across the board, but they're wireless when you get the 9-inch system. There's also storage for your smartphones here in the center console, and it's actually wide enough to fit 2 of the large ones side by side. In the Sport Touring model and anything with a 9-inch screen, you also get wireless charging, but only for 1 phone, not for 2. There's also a large 7-inch digital gauge cluster, and that's standard across the board. It's big and it's bright, it's easy to read. This is one of the better digital gauge clusters out there. The longer wheelbase for the 23 Honda CR-V has allowed Honda to increase the rear seat legroom by ½ an inch, and they've also enabled it to increase the number of positions for the rear seat recline as well. But they've also enabled Honda to increase the cargo room to more than it's ever had. You get 36.3 cubic feet of cargo room behind the rear seats, which is the most that the CR-V has ever offered. You actually get an additional 3 cubic feet in non-hybrid models, 39.3 cubic feet, because the rear load floor actually is adjustable and can drop down. You can't do that in the hybrid because that's where your hybrid battery is. If you drop all the seats, you get 76.5 cubic feet of cargo room, which is pretty significant for a vehicle this size. Honda is once again targeting the CR-V to hopefully achieve a 5-star crash safety rating from the US government and a Top Safety Pick Plus award from the IIHS, and has improved the crashworthiness of the new model for those reasons. New structures are reinforced to route crash energy around the cabin instead of through it, while side impact protection has been improved as well. New style airbags meant to help protect against brain trauma, first introduced on the latest Civic, have been included as well, and there are now standard knee and rear passenger side airbags in every CR-V. The Honda Sensing suite of electronic safety systems has been upgraded as well, with more advanced cameras and a higher definition radar system meant for more accurately identifying vehicles, pedestrians, road lines, boundaries, curbs, and more. Blind spot information systems are now standard on all models, as is a driver attention monitor and rear seat occupant reminders. New semi-autonomous braking systems with more natural responses for things like adaptive cruise control with low-speed following and lane keep assist have also been included. The changes to the 2023 Honda CR-V look really good, and it should be pretty competitive when it hits the market later this year. Now, we don't have any fuel economy or pricing data just yet. Those will be coming closer to its on-sale date, which is going to start with the non-hybrid models first later this summer, the EX and the EXL. That will then be followed by the hybrid models, the Sport and Sport Touring, later in 2022. And when we have all of that pricing, fuel economy, and availability data, you'll find it at Cars.com.